to Donald Trump. Remember, he just landed in Janesville, Wisconsin. He continues his sort of impromptu press conference. We want to take a listen in.
Seen that. And all you have to do is take a look at the debates. Every one of the debates, the polls said I won every single debate. And he's a politician. All he does is debate.
Cruz challenged you to a debate instead of the town hall.
We've had 11 debates. According to the polls, I've won every single debate. I don't think we can be asked any more questions that we haven't been. Same questions, same people. Everybody knows. They know what they're getting. With me, we're going to get great trade deals. We're going to have a strong military. We're going to take care of our vets. We're going to get rid of Obamacare. We're going to have a great country again.
So you're saying no more debates?
With any of these politicians, and remember this, very importantly, I'm self-funding my campaign. I'm putting up my own money. These guys, Cruz and what do we have left now? Kasich, right? They're getting their money from special interest groups. They're getting money from lobbyists. Those lobbyists have total control over these people. What's good for the country, they often won't do because their special interest group doesn't want them to do it. With me, I'm only here. Look, I don't know. I think I'm going to win. I'm doing very well. But if I don't, a lot of people said, why do you even do this? Why do you do this? You have a great life. You have a great family. You have a lot of money. You've built one of the greatest companies in America. My company's phenomenal. And I built one of the greatest companies in America. And they say, well, why do you do this? I do it because I want to give back. I'll tell you something. We have a country that's in serious trouble. We have a president that doesn't want to say radical Islamic terrorism. He doesn't want to acknowledge what's happening to us and all over the world. I do it because I want to give back, because I think I can give back something that nobody else can. And the beauty is that I'm funding my own campaign. So Johnson & Johnson and all of these big pharmaceutical companies and all of these big oil and gas companies like Support Cruz and all of these big companies have nothing to do with me. I don't need to do anything for them because they gave me nothing. I didn't take any of their money.
Mr. Trump, let me ask you, I talked to the first Wisconsin female lieutenant governor, Margaret Farrell. She's not a feminist, but she said she used to teach 6th and 7th grade. She said if some of her students said some of the things you say about men and women.
Donald Trump's still taking questions. In the meantime, he's been pretty active on Twitter today, including a tweet that said, just to show you how unfair the Republican primary politics can be, I won the state of Louisiana and get less delegates than Cruz. Lawsuit coming. Charles Buckels, deputy chairman of the Louisiana Republican Party, joins me on the phone. Charles, a lot of people are confused about this. Donald Trump won. And nevertheless, through whatever the mechanisms are, Ted Cruz coming out of this with more delegates. How is that fair or even legal?
Well, as a matter of fact, he did not come out with more delegates. First of all, the Republican Party of Louisiana wants to make sure that each of the candidates get their appropriate share of delegates, because we want to represent the 300 and something thousand Republicans that voted in that to make sure that their voice was heard. And as a matter of fact, Donald Trump received 18 delegates. Ted Cruz received 18 delegates, and then there is 10 that are uncommitted. 5 of those were actually delegates portioned to Marco Rubio, who are now uncommitted.
So 18 and 18. Again, Donald Trump won the state. How does he end up with the same amount of delegates as the guy who comes in number 2?
Well, first of all, Louisiana, like most of the states before Super Tuesday, is proportional
Sure,
states.
I got you, but it's not commensurate. The math doesn't add up. One person wins, one comes in second, they both get the same delegates.
Well, because the math that the Trump people all agreed to several months before the election, Trump got 41.44% of the vote. Ted Cruz got 37.8% of the vote. And according to the math that the Trump campaign, the Cruz campaign, and all the campaigns agreed to when it comes to rounding the numbers, the math is exactly correct, and no one is challenging that the math is not correct. So the way that the proportional delegates ran, both of the candidates got exactly. You can't divide a person in half. Because that's a real
I got
person.
you, but again, 40%, 30-some-odd%. Maybe if you told me Trump had 21 delegates and Cruz had 17, it makes sense to me as mathematics 101, third-grade math, not even college. But having said that, Charles, you can understand why the American public, certainly the GOP voters, who have given Donald Trump the plurality, the overwhelming number of states won so far, cringing at a potential contested convention when these sort of excuses are being used to perhaps give someone else a nomination.
Well, the excuses are simply the rules that were set up ahead of time that everybody agreed to. If the Louisiana Republican Party had allocated the delegates in any other form, it would have been in contradiction to the rules that everybody agreed to ahead of time. In fact, what the Trump campaign, and by the way, we've got three great candidates still in this race, Donald Trump,
right.
Ted Cruz, and John Kasich, and all of them would be great Republican and presidential nominees.
Charles, I get that, but again, you know, this is a tough thing here to understand how they both ended up with the same amount of delegates. Charles, I'm sorry, we're running out of time, buddy. We're going to definitely bring you back because we got to get to the bottom of this. Really.